Hello guys, welcome to my channel. The less is more. So today we will discuss an editorial from Indian Express, and it is the topic of today is social issue and a particularly vulnerable group, that is women. So let's start editorial directly. An unequal burden. The title of the editorial is An Unequal Burden. Despite talk of equity, inclusivity and respect for all humans, the role of women in the workplace continues to be just a conversation starter, quickly forgotten after a panel discussion. This has been proven once again by the latest edition of Deloitte's Women at Work report, where working women who were just about reclaiming their space after the pandemic seem to be sliding back as they fight old biases and constructs. Considering that women were tracked across urban India from junior to senior management, the so-called privileged layer, the results are particularly troubling and belie any claim of being a progressive society. So, as we talk of equity, inclusivity and respect for all humans, the role of women in a workplace is still degrading, and which in some previous years or during the COVID era gained some respect, but again as the women are claiming their workplaces like pre-pandemic levels, they are again facing this, those old biases and construct for their domestic and household work, right? Just 15% of working women split daily tasks equally with their partner, which means an overwhelming 85% are shouldering the major part of household responsibilities while simultaneously being breadwinners. So, just 15% of all the working women equally share those household work equally with their partner, while 85% of working women shoulder this responsibility on their head, right, on their shoulder. According to the report, 42% of women take on the sole responsibility of household tasks along with their job. This seems dramatic because during the pandemic years, many urban men proudly took up course which was seen as influencing participatory male behavior. A detergent company ran a share the load advertisement campaign with celebrity couples, but within a year, men in cities seem to have slipped back to their culturally conditioned pattern of behavior. Was it then an emergency response system during a crisis, the primal alpha male syndrome at play, the need to play protector? Social scientists are still debating this point, but most veer around to the understanding that while men may have become more accepting of gender parity, domestic chores are something they don't see in congruence with role responsibilities, always seeing them as a subject of female efficiency and expertise. However, such explanation can at best be an excuse and cannot hold in a dynamic society where evolution and adaptation are key to survival. One might be culturally conditioned to mimic patterns of behavior, but skills are always acquired, not programmed. The survey further shows that even when they are primary or equal earners, women are disproportionately responsible for childcare. 70% of women accepted the large household role, saying their partner is the primary earner. The fact is that women step back and choose to get bypassed for promotions, making men the bigger earner by default. When it comes to childcare, women tend to take more flexible work options to balance both ends, and it is the larger societal endorsement of this stay at home allowance as a strictly maternal territory that men use as an excuse for avoiding household chores. Right, so So guys, when it comes to child care, like taking care of our child, women do what they use, they take more flexible work option, right? So that they can balance, also play their role on working place, in working place, and also take care of their child, right? And it's a larger what societal endorsement of stay at home allowance, right, as a strictly maternal territory. Even if some men have the intent, there are no enablers for greater paternal responsibilities. There is no uniform paid paternity leave policy for new fathers, right? There is no paid paternity leave. This is in contrast to developed societies in the West, that is Finland, for example, allows 7 months of leave for employees, male or female. In Sweden, both parents are entitled to a collective leave of 48 days. 480 days, more than a year, split equally. Policymakers need to look at paid paternity leave as an enabler, because only then will the father be encouraged to take part in childcare and become sensitive to the mother's needs. This sensitivity is then expected to extend to role sharing in household duties. Otherwise, Indian women will continue to be split wide open, juggling responsibilities, always on edge, trying to keep the balls in the air. The survey has already shown that half of them have higher levels of stress and mental health issues than their global counterpart in just a year, that is 53%. The fact that women in senior positions are quitting jobs which do not allow them flexibility despite hybrid work being the new norm means they are making conscious choice to not be overlooked or left behind. It comes as no surprise that 91% of them are unhappy that their organizations are not taking any steps to ensure gender diversity, stop them from quitting, or support policy decisions taken by them. If these headwinds continue, India will lose its competitive edge to representational biases. Right, for talent is gender agnostic. So, guys, this was for women equity and inclusivity, right? So, the women are entitled to hold or to do work for household works, right, even if she is a breadwinner, right? But in the some developed countries like Finland, there is 7 months of paternity leave, right, paternity and maternity leave for male and female. In Sweden, both parents can take 480 days of leave, right, can split equally. So this is in the developed country. So India should also have some these kind of policy incentives, right? Okay, so and in the India, this is the household work termed as a like the women are meant to do these household works and men cannot do because it is associated with female efficiency and expertise. So the men use it as an excuse, right, that this kind of behavior we cannot mimic. But this is not a kind of behavior, but it's a skill that can be acquired and not programmed, right? Women from the initial stage programmed to acquire these kind of skills, right? And men used to be a breadwinner. But now the society is evolving, the man and like human is also evolving, so we need to take burden on the equal shoulders for male and female, right, so that the women can engage in the workforce, right? And so this is how our workforce can be equally inclusive, and India can harness its demographic dividend when the India when the women workforce in India will be equally at par with the men. As long as the chief of IMF also says that if the labor force participation ratio in the India is equally equal in women and men counterparts, then the India can grow at 27%. If women and men both take part in workforce equally as a 50-50%, then India can grow at 27%, which is right now growing almost 6 to 7%. So that 20% of margin can be leveraged with the presence of women in the labor force, right? So okay guys, thank you for today, signing off for the day. Bye.